Garu, that's a tremendous performance. A big round of applause for Sri Vidya Garu. Now I request Sugina Garu, Secretary, to join me.
Bring the podium. Oh, podium. Yeah, he will take it.
Okay, now since we have Deepika Dharmeda, our MPP, Mississauga to still welcome her with a big round of applause. Thank you very much, Deepika, for being here. Now I request TACA Treasurer Lokesh Chilkuru to come on to the dais and say a few words about MPP Deepika Dharmeda.
ముందుగా అందరికీ రంగనామ శుభాకాంక్షలు. ఈరోజు ఉగాది పండుగ ఇంత అట్టహాసంగా జరుపుకోవడానికి మరియు టాకా ఇంత అభివృద్ధి చెందడానికి ఈసీబీఓడితో పాటు మీ అందరి సహకారాలు ఉన్నాయి. ఎందుకంటే మీ పిల్లల చేత అన్ని ట్రైన్ చేయించి బాగా చేసినందుకు చాలా ధన్యవాదములు. And I like to say a few words about Deepika Dharmeda because మనందరికీ చాలా గర్వకారణం. Dharmeda was born in Secunderabad in India, and she grew up in India where she went to school and earned a designation as a chartered accountant. Her early years was spent traveling around India with her family because her father was working with the military. After immigrating to Canada, she earned her MBA from University of Toronto and she worked for a lot of corporate banking like the major banks as Royal Bank of Canada and Bank of Nova Scotia. She began her career as a social and political commentator for Omni TV and covering the local issues in Mississauga. Before her election, she was a senior policy advisor to Ontario's Minister of Economic Development and Trade. And she is our MPP Deepika Dharmeda. I kindly request her to come onto the dais. Aparna Koripalli, please welcome her onto the dais.
Now I request Vannamneni Gangadhar Garu to present her with a bouquet. Gangadhar Garu. Thank you, Gangadhar Garu. Now I request Deepika to say a few words and address the gathering.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. ఉగాది శుభాకాంక్షలు. ఎలక్ట్ అయ్యాక ఇది నా మొదటి ఉగాది కాబట్టి నాకు ఇట్స్ అ వెరీ స్పెషల్ అండ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ డే ఫర్ మీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ అండ్ ఐ కెనాట్ టెల్ యూ హౌ ప్రౌడ్ ఐ ఫీల్ టు బి హియర్ within my community, my little community, my family, how honored I am to have the Minister of Citizenship and Immigration, the Honorable Charles Sousa. I could go on and on about Minister Sousa's accomplishments, most of which you will be able to read on his website. So instead, I'm going to take a few minutes to speak about the man behind the title. I met Minister Sousa about 4 years ago when accidentally our offices were next to each other when I was working as senior policy advisor to Minister Sandra Pupatello and he was the parliamentary assistant to Minister Pupatello and our offices were next to each other. And over time I've gotten to know him better and what I can say is one, he is always smiling. No matter how bad things get, no matter how heated things get, you can count on a smile from Charles. And the other thing I can tell you from personal experience during the campaign, Minister Sousa is one of the most generous people I've met. He's very helpful. And when I asked his staff if Minister Sousa could come to my community's event, they immediately agreed. So I am very, very thankful, Minister Sousa, and we're delighted to have you. All I can say about Minister Sousa is what you see is what you get. So please, welcome Minister Sousa.
Thank you very much, Deepika. Now I request Sri Munukonta Ramesh Garu to bring on the chief guest, Charles Sosa, to the stage. Thank you, Ramesh Garu. Now I request Foundation Committee Chairman Srinath Konduru to come onto the stage and present a bouquet to the beloved chief guest. Thank you, Ramesh Garu. Thank you, Srinath.
Our President, Sri Gangadhar Garu, our Board of Committee Chairman Chari Garu, stage background.
Thank you, Ramesh Garu. Now I request Foundation Committee. Now I request Honorable Minister of Citizenship and Immigration, Mr. Charles Souza, to say a few words.
With pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure for me to be here this evening, here in this community, here in this high school. It's a high school, in fact, where I grew up. I grew up in this very area. And for us to enable us to celebrate who we are as Ontarians and as Canadians, all of us together, united, and celebrating our differences with pride and with ownership, because as far as we're concerned, we're all one. I also would like to thank MPP Deepika Demirla. Folks, our community should be very, very proud of Deepika and her accomplishments as our elected member. She provides to our caucus a very strong voice. It's something very special for us, in that she also brings the voice of a woman, of accomplishment, of a woman with direction, and our community, all of us, appreciate what she's been doing and what she has done up to this point. And even today, she was at the Mandir with talking about women's issues. And we require that wide array of diversity, the balanced approach that we all appreciate and better understand who we are and where we have to go. Thank you very much for inviting me as well to celebrate your new year, Nandana, this evening. It's my honor also to represent Premier Dalton McGuinty and the Government of Ontario alongside my colleague with Deepika to bring you best wishes on our behalf. Ugaadi is celebrated here and in many parts of the world. It's a wonderful time to come together and rejoice our family, relatives, and friends. In fact, I trace back my roots in a good part to Goa during the Portuguese times, and it's held a special place for us. The people of India, the people of Goa, have maintained that relationship, and certainly the impact you've made in our community and in my family goes back many, many years. And it sees that today still in our music and some of our dress. And may I say, the girls and the women here look beautiful in their dress. As you all know, Ugaadi coincides with the beginning of spring, and so it's a celebration of new life, growth, and well-being. Tonight, you continue with these traditions, coming together to enjoy great food, traditional dress, and cultural activities. And as you know, Canada and Ontario, a multicultural society, we encourage our citizens to preserve and promote their heritage and their culture. And as Minister of Citizenship and Immigration, I take those words very seriously. I was very fortunate that my father chose Canada back in 1953. I'm extremely grateful that Ontario accepted him, and as we accept all of us and all of you. In Ontario, we do things in what the Premier likes to call the Ontario way, a place where we celebrate our differences and our different cultures. We recognize that our diversity is our strength. Ontario's Beluga community has contributed tremendously to Ontario's prosperity, culture, and society. And you have enriched the quality of life in our communities. And you will continue to contribute to an inclusive Ontario, where everyone lives with dignity and mutual respect, where everyone brings their contributions to build a much brighter and more prosperous future. Thank you again to the Telugu Association for inviting me and for this special celebration here tonight. I wish your association continued success in fostering friendship and connections among Telugu people in Ontario. And during this wonderful festival, I wish you all peace and joy and a happy Ugaadi for 2012. Have a fantastic time. Enjoy the rest of this evening. Thank you, all of you, so much for being here.
Thank you very much.